1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out there in guitar land, Mike Hedding here, coming to you today with the old traditional tune Handsome Molly in the key of A. This song's been done by a bunch of great artists over the years. Doc Watson had a great version. I think he played banjo instead of guitar, but it's a really cool version. Check that out. Another great version has two legendary Colorado bands, String Cheese Incident and Hot Rise. They did a collaboration. I think they called it Hot Cheese. And they have a really great version on YouTube of Handsome Molly you should definitely check out. It's a great old song, a beautiful old melody. We've got two solos for the song. We're going to do one down the neck and then work on playing that solo up the neck. I think a beginner can get this one with some practice. The second solo might be drifting a little bit more into intermediate level, but advanced beginner. But I think you can get this with some practice. Once you get the positions down for both solos, they're both a lot easier. So we'll break down both solos note for note exactly how I just played them at the beginning of the video. I'll show you all my left hand tricks and tips needed to play the song, all the pick direction needed to play the song, and then lastly we'll break down some backup. So we just have the three easy chords, G, C, and D with capo 2, and we're going to work on just playing the chords with some basic strumming and then work on some bass walks you can do between all the chords as well. All right, let's start breaking down Handsome Molly in the key of A. Let's do it. All right, so let's start breaking down solo number 1 to Handsome Molly. So let me play like the first 8 measures into the very beginning of measure 9, which will be like halfway through the first solo. And then we'll break it down phrase by phrase. But I think it's helpful to hear a longer phrase to start, just so you can hear that melody and how it resolves. All right, so we'll play into the beginning of measure 9 from measure 1. And then we'll break it down phrase by phrase. Here we go. So I'll do that a few times. I'll do it really slow. And then a little faster. Okay, so measure 1 is going to be a pickup into the solo. We're going to start on the 3rd string, the open 3rd string. We're going to play open to open. So I'm going to use my middle finger of my left hand, and I'm going to do a down up with my pick, and then a down, and then go down to the 2nd fret 4th string. So the count is 1, 2, and 3, 4. So you do a down, up, down, down. 1. And our melody note that we're actually trying to get down to is the open 4th string. So in this case, we're just going from above the note in pitch and then landing on our target note. We could also come from below the note. That'd be like another way to do a little pickup. You could start down here. Something like that, or like I said, in this case, we're coming from above the note and going to it. But our target note's right there. Another way you could walk it down chromatically. Something like that. 2, 2, 1, open, right? But we're just coming from a little bit higher and then playing a little phrase. And then basically our melody just stays on this open 4th string. But what we're going to do is go to the 5th string and slide from 2 to 5, which is where that note hopefully is the same if your guitar's in tune. So we're just gonna fill it up with a bluegrass technique. We're going to a lower string and then sliding into the note to fill it up. So we have, and then we just play that open 4th string again, and and then open 2, hammer on. This is measure 2 that we're breaking down right now. And then open 3rd string. So you have, don't hammer on too quick and don't slide too quick. The slide takes the place, and the hammer on takes the place of an upstroke. So we have, so that measure 2, I'm actually just doing 4 downstrokes in a row. Down, 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 right? Remember, hammer-ons and slides are left-hand techniques, so you don't want that to throw off your right hand. And then we're going to pretty much do the same thing on the 3rd and 4th string. We're going to slide from 2 to 5 on the 4th string, which is where the 3rd string is the same note if you're in tune, hopefully. So we're basically doing that same concept on 2 different strings. So we're playing the melody is basically like the open 4th string. Something like that. And we're basically playing and then back down. So we basically play that same phrase twice, just on a different set of strings. Only difference is we did a hammer on here. You could also hammer on here, but we just played the 2nd fret, and then open D, open 4th string, down up, open 2, hammer on, open 3rd string, and then with your index finger play the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and then we're going to go into basically this partial D chord right here. So we have, so let's put that together. So we have, using our middle finger on basically that whole entire first phrase up into the beginning of measure 5, then we switch to our index finger. So not too hard. Make sure you get a good slide there. Don't slide too fast. Let that first note ring out just enough so you hear the reference. Same here. If you slide too quick, you don't hear it. You need to hear a little bit of that first note. Same with the hammer-ons. If you hammer on too fast, you miss the reference of it. So use that open 3rd string to flip your hand. And then we just bounce off the open D string. It just fills up the chord a little bit. And then we play that note 2 more times. So measure 5 is pretty easy. You just have, I'm just looping measure 5. And then we switch to our index finger here, so our ring finger would be freed up. We're going to slide from 3 to 4 on the 4th string. Just slide fast. And then back to, you can take your index finger off for a second if you need to, or you can use it as like a plant anchor finger, either way. And then take your ring finger off and do that bouncing thing again. And then 2nd fret, open. So let's play 5 and 6 together. It's like a phrase. We have, a little faster. Melody basically is just the 2nd fret, and then the 4th fret, and then the 2nd fret twice, open. So we just filled it up with a little bit of picking is all we're doing there. It's basically all melody. A little faster still. And then a little response lick, open 2nd string, back to the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and then do a little run, 2, 4, 2, open on the 3rd string. So we're going to use down up strokes there, so you have, I'm looping measure 7. And then basically fall back into a C chord, like a partial C chord right there. So we're going to go, use use that open third string to basically move your hand back down. And you don't see the full C in the tab, but that's going to help you just solidify that chord. If you accidentally hit a wrong string, you're basically in the chord shape, which is kind of like your insurance, which is nice. I always kind of like to think out of those chord shapes, right? So we're basically thinking out of like G, and then we're going to a D, and then to a C, right? That's like my solo shape. So I like to think of those chord shapes in my mind, even if you don't necessarily see them in the tab. That's what we're doing there. So we have open. Pretty easy. So you're just playing out of a C there. 2, open, and then a little 2 open pull off on the third string, and then back to the 2nd fret on the 4th string. I like pulling toward my palm with that one. You basically have your index finger down, which gives you the strength. So that C measure 8 sounds like this. And then back to the open 4th string, which is like the end of the phrase. So we have what's also nice about playing out of that chord shape is it gives you future options to maybe you cross pick that or something. So now I'm in that shape, or maybe I just strum. You know, if you have that chord down with the extra strings covered, you have a lot more options because you're in that safe shape there. So that's what I like to do. So let's play those first 9 measures. Here we go. So more or less all melody for that first part. So that's the I wish I was in London or some other seaport town, put my foot on a steamboat and I'd sail the ocean round. That's kind of that opening melody line. So we have